this is the final unit that you are going to learn. Okay, and I have already uploaded all 4 PowerPoints on. Oh, John is here. Yeah, so this is the new chapter, right? Okay, and this is the final unit. Okay, this is the final unit. We call that international trade. International trade. Yeah, final. Okay, this is the final one. Yeah, yeah. See, that's why we are at the finish line. Okay, well, not really, almost there. Okay, so let's do this. It's all about international economics, right? So before, yeah, there are 4 unit. No, there are 4 chapters in this unit. Okay, there are 4 chapters in this unit, right? And this is one of them, international trade. All right. Okay. So, you see, before we always talk about one country, one economy, and if you talk about something even smaller, we talk about one market or just one person. But now, when we go to international economics, we always have to think about more than one country. Okay? Yeah. So now it's always about 2 or more countries when they interact with each other. So this is what we simply call it. Okay, international economics. Okay, and the first part here, yeah, of course, we are going to introduce, why we should have international trade. Okay, and why some countries they do not prefer international economics. Well, international trade, I mean. Okay, yeah. So, but first of all, we need to understand one concept. This is the concept: comparative advantage. Okay, yeah. So when we are trying to decide whether we should have international trade or not, we need to look at this one here: comparative advantage. Right? So basically, comparative advantage is talking about when you are thinking if I should trade some goods with other countries. Okay? What kind of good should we trade? Okay? Yeah? So we are going to trade only if we can produce that good at a lower opportunity cost. So which means that if we can produce that one good more efficiently than the others, then we are going to export that good to other countries. Okay? Because to us, if we trade that good, we have a better advantage. We are more competitive. Okay? So here is a very simple example. Well, even though the countries may not be may not be good as an example, but yeah, yeah, but we just have to look at the numbers. Okay, so take a look at this. All right. So let's compare. Okay, so 2 friends. Okay, now you have 2 friends. They are all friends, and China and North Korea. Okay, so let's assume they only have 2 goods that they are producing in the countries to make the example more simple. Okay, so those 2 countries they only produce missile and pizza. Okay, and the numbers here is come on, just look. Let's make it more simple. All right. So this is the case. All right, if China has to produce 1 missile, okay, it will take 4 hours to do that. Okay, and if they want to make 1 pizza, it takes 2 hours. Okay, yeah, so that's how you should look at the data. Okay, so how do we know if they have comparative advantage? We are going to compare something like this. So think about this: how many pizzas does China and North Korea have to give up when they make 1 missile? Okay. Yeah. So 2 and 3. Okay. So 2, that will be for China. Yeah, that will be 2 hours for China and 3 hours for but here, wait. You are no, the unit is wrong. Yeah, 2 pizzas, right? Yeah, 2 pizzas and 3 pizzas. Yeah, right. So you can see, okay, if we do this comparison, we know that, okay, if we want to trade, if we want to have international trade, and in terms of missile, China should produce missile. Okay, because compared to North Korea, okay, because when you think about this, if you are North Korea, yeah, when you're trying to make one missile, it would take you 3 pizzas. And that's why I would rather, if I am North Korea, I would rather buy missiles from China, because to China the cost is lower. So when I'm getting the missile, as long as it's cheaper than giving up 3 pizzas, then I'm going to buy it because it's still cheaper to me. Yeah, does it make any sense? Cool. Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah. So that's the logic. Okay, that's the logic here. Okay, so if the opportunity cost is lower than the other country, then I'm going to produce that, and then I'm going to trade with the other countries. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, Jesse. Yeah. So once again, think about this. So let me show you this. Okay. So yeah. So now when we have to decide which product we should trade or which product we should specialize, we need to think about the opportunity cost. Okay, so they are the potential trade partners. Okay, China and North Korea. And if we have to decide if we should specialize on producing missile, then we will look at the opportunity cost when we are making missile, right, for the both countries. Okay, so for China, if I make one missile, then I have to give up 2 pizzas. And for North Korea, if I'm going to produce one missile, I have to give up 3 pizzas. Okay, so if you compare the two, okay, then you know. Oh well, let's assume everything remaining constant. Okay, yeah. Then if China is going to produce a missile, it's going to be cheaper because the opportunity cost for producing missile, okay, in China is lower. Okay, so and that's why, okay, if North Korea, they are aware of this, but they're not going to produce missile anymore. But they would rather buy missile from China because they know China has a lower cost on producing the missile. And therefore, China, in this case, if there are only 2 products, okay, being made in the country, China should export missile, and North Korea should buy missile because it's cheaper if they do it this way. But let's go to another question here. Okay, so you can see. So this is what we call a comparative advantage. Okay. Okay, so and that's why China is going to specialize on producing missiles. But you see here, because we are trying to assume they only produce 2 goods, so we also have to compare the other one as well. Okay, so when you look at the other one, so and if we also do the same comparison, okay, so how many missiles uh, to China and North Korea they have to give up in order to make one pizza? How many? Okay, 1/5 for. Yep. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Okay. So wait. Okay. Hey. Uh. Yeah. So this is the calculation. All right. Okay. So and you can see, right? is you can see here. Yeah, Chloe. Yeah, you got that wrong. Okay, yeah. So you can see, right, when you compare, you know, producing pizza, you will see this figure as well. Okay, so you know that if that's the case, North Korea for North Korea is cheaper to produce pizza. Okay, and yeah, compared to China. Okay, so we would say North Korea has the comparative advantage in specializing pizzas. So at the end, if they trade together, if they trade together, then they will both get benefits by trading. Do you guys get it? Think about it. If you only produce it domestically, then you are going to miss out the benefit. But if you decide to trade with the other country, then you will gain because of the comparative advantage that you have. Okay? Yeah, is it clear? Right? Because you see here, talking about making pizza, if you are not trading, you have to give up 1/3 of the missile. Okay? But if you decide to trade, possibly you can get a cheaper price from China because to China, sorry, I mixed that up. Yeah. I mixed that up. Yeah, this one is for China. China right now has a higher cost when producing pizza, but if they decide to decide to trade with North Korea, they can possibly get a cheaper price because for North Korea, the cost is cheaper to produce one pizza. Okay, so Jago, China should export missile, and North Korea should export pizza. Yes. Okay, that's the answer. Yes. Well, not really, not really. Okay, in theory, this is better. You are able to get more at a cheaper price. Okay, if they decide to exchange the goods. Okay, so that's why we make the assumption. We make the assumption in theory. In this case, those two countries they only have two goods being made: missiles and pizzas. Okay, so if that's the case, then they both will get benefits if they decide to trade, decide to make international trade. Okay, of course, in the reality, when you see there will be so many more goods and services they are going to trade. So you will see some exceptions because of that. But when we study the concept, this is one good way. We are trying to narrow down our thinking, okay, to just two goods. So you will see the benefits of having international trade. Okay. Uh, so if they trade 1-for-1, then China will be at a disadvantage. 1-for-1 of but here we are looking at the opportunity cost. Okay, yeah, we are looking at the opportunity cost. So you know that, yeah. You should not confuse. Okay, you are looking at the opportunity cost that you have when you are producing the goods. Okay, so that's why they decide to have international trade. Okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, so that's the concept. Why countries they some countries they decide to trade goods with the others. Okay, because of comparative advantage. Okay, yep. And here I'll show you, yeah, just a very simple flow chart here. Okay, so free trade. So this is the concept of international trade without being limited by any forms of barriers. Okay, yeah, we are talking about trade barriers. So that's what we call free trade. And if you look at the flow chart, take a look at this. So because of international specialization, we just talked about here, yeah, because of comparative advantage, and that's why countries they decide to trade with each other. Okay, and you can see that's why international specialization promotes international trade. Okay, and there are two kinds of international trade that we can see. So the first kind that we are going to see is free trade. Free trade, no trade barriers that you will see from either of the country. Okay, so it's all free. Uh, well, bilateral and multilateral, they are something else. They are something more complicated. Okay, yeah, you are talking about trading block, something we call a trading block, right? But here we try to make it more simple. So there is only two options. Either you trade with other countries without any barriers, or you trade with other countries with some barriers. So we will go through both of them. Okay, yeah. So so that's the case. That's the case. Okay, I hope this flow chart will make you more clear about the concept, right? So specialization, that's why it promotes international trade. And because of international trade, sometimes you will see some free trade, sometimes you see some trading with trade barriers. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so and here, yeah, so this is some kind of bilateral or multilateral economic integration that you will see. Okay, in the reality. Okay, you don't have to memorize all of them, but they are some examples. Of some countries they use some economic integration to promote international trade. Oh yeah, yeah. So here, not anymore. Okay, not anymore. Right, not anymore. So EU. Okay. So basically, well, let's put it, in a simple way. So when you are trying to form a free trade area, yeah, just like EU. Okay. Yeah, it's basically I would say free trade area is like bullying. It's pretty much like bullying. Okay. So EU, when all those countries they form together, okay, they become a big bully, right? So how do they bully people? So usually when you form a free trade area, okay, so they become all friends. They become all friends, and then they are going to bully people which are not their members. Okay, so they are going to impose like trade barriers to all the non-member countries, and that's why. Okay, that's why it's like bullying. Okay, yeah. So yeah, but inside here they promote free trade. Okay, because of this EU trading bloc here. Okay, and we have so many different kinds of example. So here, this one is a very good example. We all know EU, and yeah, we also have this. Okay, North American Free Trade Area. Yeah, yeah, between U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Right. So yeah, if they have this kind of trading bloc, yeah, this kind of agreement, they will have free trade. Okay, they will have more free trade among the countries. Okay, yeah, uh, yeah, Jesse. Well, the thing why they would impose trade barrier on the non-member countries is because well they want to make this circle, okay, this circle more stable. Okay, more stable. They don't want any one else to intervene this big circle here because you can see it's a very complicated relationship that the globe is having, and yeah, and that's why you don't want any outsider to intervene into your market. Okay, and that's why they have a common trade barrier to all the non members so that they will have a more stable economy. Okay, inside all those countries, right? That is just one of the reasons, but you don't need to know that that far. Okay, yeah, right. But yeah, it's more for stability. Okay, yeah, right. And yeah, and then you have so many different examples, and yeah, sometimes you have this right? Yeah, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Yeah, so all those countries, they have agreements, so they agree to have more free trade among the countries. Okay, so yeah, so that's why they will have free trade. Okay, because they have made some agreement. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's just some examples. You don't need to memorize all those examples. Okay, it's yeah, they are just examples for you to understand. Okay, so that's how some countries, why they would love to trade with the others, because they are having some sort of agreements. Okay, yeah, okay, right. Okay, yeah, kinda. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Right. So now, okay, so now we kind of understand what free trade is. Yeah. So, but what are the advantages of free trade? What do you think? If we promote free trade, what are the advantages? More trade, yeah, that's good. Better access to goods, yeah, that's good as well. Lower production costs, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, more choices, yeah, that is very good. More competition, and then you can, further develop from there. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, better quality. Yeah, less conflicts. Yeah, harmony, harmony. Yeah, globalization, bigger market. Right. Yes, very good. You guys got all the ideas. So I'm just gonna show you right here. All right. So advantages, of course. Yeah, the benefits from specialization, and that's why they have more choices. Okay, because think about this. If you don't trade with other countries, yeah, you may not be able to produce some goods that you are not good at. So now, if you have international trade, of course, there will be bigger choices for the consumers, and because when people they have a comparative advantage, usually the goods that they make should be in better quality because they are good at producing that kind of products or services. Let me see this. Well, it depends. Okay, Jesse, I cannot exactly tell you if they have 2 points. It's up to the panel. It's up to the panel of Cambridge. Sometimes, when you look at the mark scheme, they are in the same point. Sometimes they are not. Okay, so I really cannot tell you if they have 2 points or not. Okay, so well, yeah, but Ivan, I would suggest you should point out it's because of specialization. Okay, yeah, that's why, yeah, use the same old drill. Okay, make your explanation in very small pieces. Okay, yeah, try to convince the examiner, why they have more choices, why they have better quality, yeah, because of specialization, and that's why blah 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 blah. Okay, so try to make your explanation in smaller pieces. Okay, that will increase the opportunity that you can get more points. Okay, yeah, it's hard to show you the patterns in economics. Okay, you just have to follow this drill. Okay, try to make your explanation in more detail, in smaller pieces. Okay, yeah, and yes, competition. Right, you guys gave me that answer, and right, competition. So the efficiency is going to go up, right? And then goods are going to be better, cheaper, perhaps. Right, that's good. And yeah, international market. So now, if you do international trade, you can not only sell your products to your own country, to your domestic country. You can also sell your products to other countries. Okay, so you have bigger consumer markets. Okay, yeah. So that's good. And also we have two more points. Okay, feel free to use them. Okay, yeah, they are just for your references. Okay, so you can see here. Well, it is also about qualities. Okay, yeah, some technologies because now when you are doing international trade, so take a look at this example, right? The Airbus, right? The Airbus they use over 500 suppliers to make their planes. Okay, so 500 suppliers all over the world. Okay, so they procure raw materials, semi-finished goods, and labor from all around the world to build Airbus, so that the Airbus can be in a very good quality. Okay, yeah. So this is why sometimes international trade, or what you call free trade, is so good. Okay, yeah, because yeah, you can get the best workforces, resources, technologies at the same time. Okay, yeah. And just one more, right? International, yeah. So this is what we call harmony. Okay, you guys gave me that, right? Um, so well, no, not really, Ivan. Boeing also doing this. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, Airbus is doing this. Well, yeah, and Boeing, because they are one of the biggest competitors, so they actually they do the same. They do the same. Okay, so yeah, you can see the competition is very you know huge between the two competitors. Okay, yeah, and yeah, and for the last one here, yeah, harmony. Okay, right, just like that. Interdependence. Mm-hmm. Uh, well, because I would say these 4 points, I would say they are the most direct answers. Okay, yeah. Remember, every time when we are trying to write our answers, we try to write the most direct effects or most direct consequences first. Okay, so for the red highlighted points, I would say make good use of them when you have to answer a question like this. Okay, question like this, right? But here it's just for the sake of knowledge. Okay, yeah, but yeah, they're kind of similar, right? When you think about this. Okay, yeah, and yeah, okay, all right. So yes, harmony, of course, globalization. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So yeah, so that's the advantages of free trade. All right. Okay. But of course, you see here, if we have advantages, then you will have disadvantages too. Okay. So now, yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. So when we think about disadvantages of the uncontrolled free trade, right? So there are some disadvantages, of course. So take a look at this. See here, why? Why the low-cost economies and large overseas businesses, they are threatening jobs in developed economies. Why? Any examples that you can show me? Oh, okay, yeah, right. Okay, yeah. That's a good example. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, so you can see, because LEDCs, right? They, the price level there, the standard of living, the standards of living there, is much lower. Yeah, right. And that's why, in those countries, in those LEDCs, when they are producing the goods, they are always cheaper. Okay, because the resources, yeah, the resources, uh, and also the products, they will be cheaper, much cheaper. So the developed countries, because the price level, the standards of living is much higher than those LEDCs, and that's why, compared to them, there's no competition. You are going to lose. Okay, and that's why you can see, why Mr. Donald Trump, he has to do so many, tariff things to China. Okay, because that is one of the reasons. Okay, yeah, because sometimes maybe you hear the word dumping. Dumping is that main reason. Okay, dumping, right? So how do you dump something into other countries? Is when you can sell your products at a very low cost. Okay, and that is what you call dumping, right? So you see, Donald Trump always talk about, yeah, China. They always try to dump their agricultural products into our country, and that's why we have to make it America first. That is okay, what he's trying to do. All right, and yeah, so you see some problems here, and that's why there are some trade barriers to prevent China to export so many goods into America. Okay, yeah, so that is one of the main reasons. Okay, yeah, um, yeah, 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 exactly. Okay, because they cannot compete with the developing countries. Okay. Oh, principal is here again. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hi, Principal Lau. Hi. Okay. Well, yeah. So that's the first point. Okay. And yeah, for the second point here, so let's take a look at this. Okay. Oh, wow. 5 seconds. Did I just scare her out? Wow, 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 wow. That is nice. Yeah. See, I'm so proud of myself. Yeah. See, I think today I am the champion. Okay. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Yeah, that's how you scare the principal. And that's a new record, baby. Yes. That is good. Yeah, whoa, parking shop is recruiting. Do you want me to? Yeah, Carlos, maybe. Yeah, Cam lesson is 4 lesson. Oh, okay. Um, well, I see. I don't mind, Marco. I don't really mind. I don't really mind. I even made a description for her. Yeah, so she can go back to that description and find where he bumped into my class. So yes, feel free to join my YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, I don't care. All right. So yeah, she. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, all right. Let's go back to the chapter here. Yeah. So that's the first point, and yeah, reducing opportunities for growth in some developing countries. Yeah. So why do you think this point happens? Why? See, the first point we talk about, yeah, the developed countries, they cannot compete with the developing countries because of the low cost factor. But why now we have the second point? Why sometimes it's going to be the opposite? Yes, Katrina, that is cool. Yeah, that answer is cool. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right. Cheap. Yeah. But you see, think about this. How how do how do the MEDCs lower the cost that much in order to do that second point to the developing countries? How do they do it? How do the MEDCs do it? Economies of scale. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of the reasons. And there is also one more very sneaky reason why they can do that. Well, lower production costs. I would say that is just part of economies of scale. Abuse workers. So you believe in MEDCs? They still abuse a lot of workers. Well, maybe they do. Okay, maybe they do. Okay. But now we are talking about MNCs. How? Yeah, better equipment. Yeah, so better efficiency, so lower cost. But that reason is about the government. It's about the government. Think about this. It's about the government. Okay, yeah. Subsidies, yes, subsidies. Okay, subsidies. All right. Those MEDCs, those countries, they are more sneaky than you think. Okay. Why they can make it so cheap and export to to the developing countries? Because the government is behind all this. The government, for the primary products, okay, for the primary products, okay, yeah, that is what usually the developing countries they will export. Okay, because they know the primary products, they have a very vulnerable position. Okay, and that's why the MEDCs, the government, they always protect that kind of industry, and at the end they over subsidize those firms. Okay, those firms which produce primary products, and at the end they can push down the price so low so that they can make a cheaper international price to the developing countries. And at the end, when they sell those very cheap products to the developing countries, they would rather buy the imports instead because they are so cheap. So why should I buy my own domestic rice if I can buy the imported rice at a lower price? So that is the point. Okay, yeah, government they have done so many things, right, for those MEDCs. Okay, yeah, and that's why you know every year there are actually so many protests. Uh, well, for example, talk about EU. EU they have a scheme they call it CAP. Okay, yeah, it's just an acronym. So CAP is basically a very extreme subsidies and price floor for the farmers in EU. And yeah, when they do that, they can sell their agricultural products at a very low cost. And also, there is a subsidy scheme in America. And yeah, you can see those two superpowers. Okay, when they also have the help from the government, then yeah, this is the case. And that's why when you see so many protests going on throughout the years, yeah, where when you go back to the news and every time when WTO they're having conferences, there will be some people standing outside of the venue and then do protests because yeah they just hate it. They hate international trade because they are destroying their living. Yeah, the developing countries. Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you some examples. Yeah, right, very soon. Okay, yeah, that's why you have the second point, right? Okay, all right, and yeah, of course, you see here, number 3 and 4. Okay, when you do that, when you do not control the free trade, okay, because of the benefits that we have seen here, yeah, so there will be a bigger market, right? When you have bigger market, you produce more goods. The output is increasing because of that. So you will see some disadvantages here. Okay, some rapid resource depletion. Okay, because now you produce more, so you use more resources, and when you think about this negatively, eventually resource depletion. Okay, and yeah, sometimes you will see this as well, right? Exploitation of workers and the environment. Okay, yeah, over production, then environment will be destroyed. And sometimes when you encourage trade, okay, so you will see, well, trade it's not always limited to goods and services. It can be foreign investment. So let's say if China and the US they are trading, okay. So if the US they are trying to invest some companies into China, that is also a kind of trade, right? So think about this. Think about the example of Foxconn. Okay, when there is trade, when people in China they need iPhones, okay, it promotes some factories being built in China in order to make more iPhones. And at the end, you can see, right, all those workers who work in Foxconn, they were being exploited. And some MNCs when they are producing in foreign countries, they don't care about the environment. Okay, because you can see the legislations in some developing countries, they are usually kind of loose. Okay, and also for the worker benefit, they don't have much legislation about all those areas. And at the end, exploitation of workers and environment. You will see this. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's the case. Right. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you can see it's much more than just a few sentences here. Okay, it is much more than that. And as long as we read more news, then we'll get them. Okay, yeah, we'll be able to explain all of them. Okay, yeah, completely. All right, so don't forget to read more news. Yeah, read more. It doesn't really matter. You don't always have to read the economic news or the financial news. Just the normal news will do. Okay, will help you a lot. All right, will help you a lot. Yeah, it will help you a lot. Okay, so yeah, so they are the disadvantages if you have an uncontrolled free trade. Okay, yeah. So here we have so many concepts when we go back to international trade. All right, so just bear with me. Okay, yep, and yeah. So here, after we have known the advantages of free trade and some disadvantages of it, then we should know this organization as well. Yeah, I just talked about WTO just now, and yeah, WTO basically they have so many purposes, and the main purposes they are to promote development of free trade. Okay, so yeah, so WTO is actually you can say WTO is a third party agent. Okay, so they are trying to grab different countries and then they put them together. So they try to make them friends. Okay, yeah. Uh, I think it's better if you just quickly memorize the role of a WTO. So you just have to memorize the very main purpose to promote development of free trade. How do they do it? So they sometimes they would set up some rules and agreements, and sometimes they would settle trade disputes between the members in order to promote development of free trade. Okay, so just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the red highlighted. Try to make it in one sentence. Then it will do. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yes, WTO. Right. So you can see now. Okay. So this is what they do. This is what they do. All right. And so now, okay. Uh, World Trade Center. What do you mean? World Trade Center? Are you talking about the one in America, which got destroyed? Wait, Ivan. Okay, never mind. Okay. Uh, so so here I want you to watch a video, right? Yeah. So now we still have like 12 minutes. So I'm going to copy this link. Yikes. Okay. So okay. So here, go to this video, and you don't have to watch the whole thing. Okay, if you want to watch the whole thing, yeah, feel free to watch it in your free time. But right now, I just want you to start from 6 minute 15 second. Okay, and until 9 minute and 44 second. Okay, so try to watch that part now. Okay, so you all finished the video? Yep. So yeah, so after you have watched the video, yeah, then you probably you know more like why free trade may not be a good idea. Yeah, and WTO is actually promoting that. Well, deflation. Well, that's another topic. That's another topic because right now, yeah, the problem is just focusing on the countries usually about a particular industry like agricultural industry. But what the thing is, yeah, the farming industry. Yes, yes. So you can think about this. The developing countries, they always have this kind of characteristics. They tend to have a more percentage of a farming industry in those countries. And when you are having free trade, when you are promoting free trade, yeah, is actually worse. Okay, yeah, there are more disadvantages than benefits to those poor countries, and that's why at the end of the video you heard that that Korean farmer, she said, you know for LG, yeah, Samsung, all those big companies, they will gain from free trade, but for us the farmers, we don't gain anything. We have lost. Okay, yeah, because when you allow free trade with other countries, with the MEDCs, they supply more agricultural goods to your country, and that. Think about the demand and supply curve. When the supply is going up, so the price will go down as well. Okay, so you can see there's more consequences than just when they are selling the goods very cheap to your developing countries. Okay, so yeah, Jago, yes, yes, yes. Okay, yeah. So you can see free trade to the developing countries could be a bad idea. Okay, and that's why they protest. They protest. Okay, they just don't want WTO to intervene, right? Their countries. Okay, because when you let them help you shake hands with other MEDCs, this is the consequence. Well, so why did they join the WTO in the first place? Well, um, um, you can think about this. See, sometimes for the consumers, you will gain. You do gain. You do gain from international trade. You can buy cheaper goods. You can buy cheaper goods, and but at the end, see, like what the video said, they discourage domestic production. So at the end, you think about this: when the domestic production is getting lower, you can think about what will happen to economic growth. But sometimes there may be some political pressures. Okay, yeah. So the governments, right? They have so many things going on. Okay, sometimes you just cannot use logic to think about this, right? There are so many kinds of pressures. There are so many kinds of other benefits. Maybe if they join WTO, the MEDCs, they might give them some other benefits. Okay, yeah. So let's say some aids, or yeah, some other assistance. Okay, yeah, you never know. But for the very small farmers, all they know is when they join WTO, they will lose. Okay, and apparently they lost. Okay, yeah. So yes, yeah. The government makes the decision. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so there you can see, right? At the end, only the citizens suffer, right? Especially those you know in disadvantage. Okay, yeah. And you see, because of that, right? So here, yeah, I'm gonna go through this one last part for today. So, and because of this, because of all these reasons here, okay, some countries, they decide, okay, they know this kind of consequences, and that's why they don't want free trade, or they just want a limited free trade going on with other countries, and that's why they make trade protection. Okay, because they know if if we trade together, we are going to see something bad like this. Okay, so we use all kinds of trade protection to protect us from getting this kind of consequences. Okay, yeah, right, and yeah. So and then we will go to the part of trade protection because of that. Okay, yeah, okay, right. Okay, so you can see, right? Yeah, to restrict imports. The trade protection is always about restricting imports, and because we want to protect the domestic production. Think about the Philippines, right? If they have more trade protection, if the government impose more trade protection, yeah, they can help them, right? They can help domestic production. They can help the employment, domestic employments, and incomes as well. Okay, yeah. Um, and yeah, and that's why we are going to introduce trade protection. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna end this here. Right. Take a look at this. If you go to Google Classroom, Classroom, I have not just, I uploaded a homework for you, okay, for this week. Yeah, for this week. So here, if you go to this part here, right? So it says homework, development economics, exam practice. Okay, so I believe you have just finished the homework from last week. Okay, so this is the homework for you this week. So here, if you go to the homework here, then you will see in the attachment, I have a Word file. So inside a Word file, you will see one, two, three MC questions, very simple, and then you have three short answer questions. Okay, so finish it and hand it in on Thursday next week. Okay, yeah, very short homework for you this week. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's all for today. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye bye.